It was an obvious exercise in dot connecting when Mel Tucker left Colorado to go to Michigan State. Colorado has a vacancy. Eric Bieniemy is a coach. He's Colorado's all-time leading rusher. Colorado has reached out reportedly twice now to Bieniemy, who is, according to Adam Schefter of ESPN, doing his due diligence when it comes to possibly becoming the head coach at Colorado. I would be stunned if he goes. And I think he's just being nice and he's being respectful, and it's his former school and he doesn't want to just hang up the phone on them, Shireen. But he's in the pipeline to be an NFL head coach. I think if you go coach at Colorado, which has become a stepping stone school for Michigan State, apparently, you step out of the pipeline to be an NFL head coach. I don't think that Eric Bieniemy stays at the top of the list of NFL coaching candidates for 2021 if he leaves the Chiefs now and goes to Colorado, which makes me convinced he's not going to leave.
Well, do we know that Eric Bieniemy wants to become an NFL head coach more than a college head coach? I don't know that. I'm assuming that, but I don't know that for sure. And when your alma mater calls, you have to go back and at least listen and consider it. And maybe he's gotten to the point, too, where he just says, look, I've been passed over and passed over and passed over. I'm tired of this. I'm going to go be a head coach, whether it's for 1 year or 5 years or 10 years or a lifetime. Maybe he's reached that point. Again, though, I would be surprised if he took this job. He should be. Now, I thought he would get a head coaching job in this hiring cycle, and he didn't. But he should get one in 2021. He should have gotten one in 2020. He didn't. He should get one in 2021. So if he wants to become an NFL head coach, the route to that is to stay in Kansas City, not to go to Colorado. But if he just wants to become a head coach, going back to your alma mater makes a whole lot of sense. If the NFL is not calling for you, and that is not something that you definitely want to do. You just want to be a head coach.
The idea that he could get exasperated at some point by being passed over for NFL head coaching opportunities, I get that. But it's only been 2 cycles that he's been an offensive coordinator and then in that mix and in that discussion for potential head coaching opportunities. So I think his ship will come in at the NFL level at some point. And the other aspect and very basic reality is this: I'm not leaving the side of Patrick Mahomes. No way, no how. I already got a Super Bowl ring from the experience. I may get a second one. And the one thing I want to know, I want to have that heart-to-heart with Andy Reid. How long do you plan on coaching? I'm trying to get my information. Is there? Can you shed some light? Are you looking at 5 years? Are you looking at 10 years? It's fine. You stay however long you want. I just want to know so I can make my plans. And if Andy Reid, if there's any chance that he's going to retire at 65, that's a factor for me. Maybe I just hang around here. Maybe I say no to these other head coaching opportunities, college and pro, because if there's a chance to be Patrick Mahomes' head coach for 5 to 10 years, that's a hell of a lot better than coaching anywhere else.
Don't you think Eric Bieniemy deserved a head coaching job in this cycle, that he's done enough and he was a great candidate for all these teams? I mean, I think he should have gotten one in this cycle. When I look at the coaches who were hired, he should have been one of those guys.
Well, Sims and I have talked about this. I don't think Kevin Stefanski should have been hired by the Browns. I don't think Kevin Stefanski has done enough in 1 year and 2 or 3 games as an offensive coordinator to make me think he's a can't-miss, surefire, deserving head coaching candidate, especially because the best thing about the Vikings offense this year was Gary Kubiak, not Kevin Stefanski. And the Gary Kubiak is the guy that Mike Zimmer singled out and said Kubiak is the best decision I've made since becoming head coach of the Vikings, not Stefanski. So at a minimum, he should be the head coach of the Browns. Now, some of these other jobs, Joe Judge versus Eric Bieniemy, you could say Bieniemy, but I think the challenge is, now it didn't help keep Doug Peterson or Matt Nagy from becoming head coaches, but the idea that you're the offensive coordinator for an offensive mastermind, it makes it harder to stand out. Look, Pete Carmichael's been Sean Payton's offensive coordinator all these years. His name never gets mentioned for head coaching jobs anywhere. The fact that Andy Reid has created this coaching tree of offensive guys when he's an offensive guy is kind of remarkable. But I think at a minimum, Shireen, to finally answer your question, he should be the head coach of the Browns right now.
I agreed with that. I think he should be there with the Browns, and he's not. And if he waits, he will be somewhere in 2021 for sure.
if not Colorado in 2020. We'll see how it plays out. Another hour of PFT Live still to come.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.